Hi everyone, I'm Laura from Ross Draver Library. This is the second video in the Starting Seed series in our Growing with Gardens program. Today I'm going to be planting our first group of seeds. Usually when we do Growing with Gardens, we have plants that are ready and strong enough to go directly into the garden during summer. This year I wanted to try with you guys starting our plants from little baby seeds. So we are going to do our first group of seeds today. So each seed type has a different amount of time that it takes for it to get strong enough to go into the garden in the summer. So some need to start earlier, some need to start later. So we are starting the seeds today that take the longest amount of time to grow up strong and healthy. That first group of seeds is broccoli, tomato, basil, oregano, peppers, and onions. And these are our little seed packets that we're going to use today. So you can follow along at home. Along the way, you might want to get creative and think of substitutions that you have at home if you want to try to plant some seeds at home. Or you can just watch and check in on the seeds and kind of follow their journey until we're able to work on this together. So you might want to grab a helper if you are doing seeds with me. This is my dog Eddie. Hi. I don't know if he'll be much of a help or the opposite today. Planting seeds requires certain steps and certain supplies. Seedlings are very picky, they're very delicate, and they're very needy. They want everything to be just right or they won't be able to grow. So there's steps we need to follow and supplies we need to have. I don't have every single thing right here, but I will show you what I have for this part of our seed starting process. So I have organic seed starting mix over here. That's the soil that the seeds will grow in. This is just a pitcher of water that we're going to need, a spray bottle with water, some little tools to scoop the soil and to plant the seeds. I'll show you those more closely later. A spoon to stir the soil and water, our seeds, which I already showed you. This is a little sifter that I'm going to use to sprinkle soil onto the seeds. You don't really need to use this. You can use your fingers to sprinkle it. These are our seed trays. So these are the little cells that the seeds will go in. It is very interesting, isn't it? There are holes in the bottom. I don't know if you can see. That's very important because the extra water that's in the soil needs to escape somehow. Otherwise, the seedling will drown and it won't be able to survive. So at home, a good substitution for this is little plastic containers like yogurt cups are the perfect size, something like that. And if you're using something like that, try to poke a hole in the bottom or get an adult to help you because, like I said, that's really important for the seedling to survive. These are the trays that the little cells go into. What we're doing with these is we're going to put water in the bottom, and then these will soak up the water as it's needed. So when they're thirsty, they're just going to soak up water from the bottom. You can use a big bowl or a tray, like a cooking tray or something like that, if you can find something at home. We also have our garden journals. Get yours out if you made one, but if you haven't, there's a video showing how you can make one. So there are some steps that we need to follow to plant our seeds. Some of the steps we're going to do in here, and then some we're going to do inside. I'll tell you really quickly what they are, and then we'll get into it. So first we're going to have to prepare our containers. Then we're going to prepare our soil. Fill the soil into the containers. Place our seeds into the soil, mist and water the seeds, and then set up our grow station with our growing lights and our heat mats. So, to prepare your trays, just wash them very thoroughly. You can use some soap and water, some hot water, and then the most important part is to rinse them a lot. You don't want anything in there that's going to interfere with the soil and the plant growing. If there's any soap left or anything else left in your containers, the plant might not grow. For this next part, we'll take the Spoon, water, soil, and bucket, and mix them together. We want the soil to be as wet as a sponge that has been well wrung out. A good trick for this is to take a handful of soil in your hand after you've mixed it with the water and squeeze it. If water comes off of it, then it's too wet and you might have to add some more soil or let it dry out some. So now that we've prepared our containers and filled them with the prepared soil, we are going to start planting our seeds. I'm going to try to do 4 of each in each tray, and then after that, we're going to label them. All right, so we've planted our seeds. We've done all the steps up to setting up our seed station. So let's head inside. Now that we're inside, we're going to set up our seed growing station. This is what's in our station. This is the seed mat that provides heat for the baby seeds. It's just very light heat that warms it from the bottom. Right here is the grow lights. So these are specifically for plants, but you can use a sunny windowsill if you have a seedling that you want to grow. Or you can use any other type of light source. The seeds really like bright light. So then we're going to place our prepared seed trays on the heat mat. I put these in their white watering trays. Here's the other one. And then the final thing we are going to do is put on the humidity domes. Those go right over top, so all of the moisture and the heat is trapped in there, and it really helps the seedlings to get a kick start. So the heat mat is plugged in, and now I'm going to turn on our lights. So cool, right? Okay, so this little thing here lets me time them. And I'm going to time them for 12 hours. In the beginning, seedlings love lots of light, and actually we're going to continue this amount of light until they're ready to go into the garden, because it's always good to give them extra light to make them strong. The right amount of light is about 12 to 16 hours per day. So I put it on the 12-hour timer. So these little seedlings are going to get 12 hours of light. The other thing that we want to do is position these so they're about 1 to 2 inches above the seeds. I'll fix these a little bit later to make them just right. that's about where you want to be. Right now the humidity dome is preventing me from going any closer, but once that comes off, we can go even closer. The reason we do that is because if they're too high up here, when they sprout, those seedlings will start to grow really fast up, 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 and their stems will get very long and they'll start to bend over. That's called leggy. That's when your seedlings are leggy. And we don't want that because they'll fall over and they won't survive. We want the lights to be close so they're reaching up but not too fast. And that allows the roots to get really strong and the stem to get really strong. We did mist our soil. And for right now, I'm not going to put any water in the bottom of these trays, in the white tray, because we don't want the seeds to drown and get too wet. Maybe in a day, I'm going to watch the soil. When it starts to get lighter brown, right now it's dark brown. When it starts to get lighter, I'll put water in the white tray, and then the soil will start to soak up whatever water it needs for these seeds to keep growing. So now, if you'd like to get out your garden journals, it's time to start filling in those little spots in the beginning where we made our chart. This is in the Make Your Own Garden Journal video. I show you how to make these charts. So we have the plant tracker. I have 2 pages of that. And then there's the growth log. That's tracking once they sprout up. That's tracking how tall they are every time we check in on them. And then we also have our seedling observation. So you could fill out one of these today and just draw just soil in your picture and talk about what we did, how you took care of your seedling today. So we planted them carefully, patted them down, misted them, gave them light and warmth, and their humidity domes. But right now, we're just going to fill in on our plant tracker what we planted, because we can fill in the first column, which is sowing date. This right here. So we'll write our plants right here, and then we'll fill in today's date right here. And sowing date means the day that you planted them. So let's fill that in right now. Okay, so I filled in all 6 of the plants that we did today. Tomato, onion, basil, oregano, and peppers. And then I put March 30th for all of the dates. You can choose to track less plants, maybe 1 or 2, or maybe all of them. It's up to you how many you want to track, but I'll keep you up to date on how the seeds are growing. So you may have your own seeds that you want to grow or that you've been growing in this video along with me. You might have seeds from the store or seeds that you normally eat or something like that. But another really fun thing to do is regrow your kitchen scraps. Have you ever thought about that? Let's see what that looks like. I have a few examples here for you that I've been trying. The first one is an avocado pit. So the little hard piece inside of an avocado is the seed of an avocado. So I have 2 examples here at 2 different stages in growth. What you do is you take the pit of the avocado and you wash it off and you let it to dry a few days. Whatever seed you're choosing from a piece of food or from a scrap, you want to allow to dry out after you've washed it off, at least a few days. So after that, you place 4 toothpicks, you poke them in to the pit of the avocado, and then you fill a clear jar. I use clear so I can see it starting to grow. Use a clear jar and you fill it with water, and then you place the pit on top of the jar. You're going to want to change the water every couple days or at least once a week. But this is eventually what it will start to do. The little root will start to push out of the bottom, and a tiny sprout will start to come out the top. Do you see the little sprout? Very important for avocado, you have to keep the bottom part wet. Don't let the bottom half of the seed dry out. After a while, it'll look like this. This one, the root is actually curling because it's so long. And I don't know if you can see, but there are little leaves at the top. I also have tried growing an onion that sprouted. So this one's just growing in some regular potting soil, and it's planted about half an inch to an inch deep. What I did is I just carefully broke open and cut open the onion and removed the 2 sprouts. Planted them and I'm watering them. I put both of them on a sunny windowsill or sunny table. So those are just 2 examples of the really cool things you can see start to grow from your kitchen scraps. So next time you put something in the compost or you go to eat a seed, think about, maybe I can grow this. Okay, so to finish out our planting day, we're going to read this story. It goes through what we've done today, and it's pretty fun. Eddie wanted to come hear the story. This book is called Plant the Tiny Seed. Look at that, Eddie. It's written by Christy Matheson. There is magic in this tiny seed. Can you find the tiny seed? What's that over here? Is that the seed? I think that's a ladybug. What's that? Oh, there it is. It's so small. Do you remember how small our seeds were today? Okay, we found it. Press it down and count to 3. Press it down with me. Find it on your screen. All right. 1, 2, 3. Where'd it go? Oh, plant another, then 1 more. Press them down and count to 4. So we planted another and then 1 more. So we started with 1 and then we added 2. So now there's 3. Let's see if we can get them all with our fingers. I really can't get them all with one hand, but maybe you can. I'll kind of do this. Ready? Let's count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What happened now? Okay, look, they're in the soil. We did that today. Wiggle your fingers to add some water. Wiggle those fingers. That's enough. Next, rub the sun to make it hotter. Can you see the sun up here? Let's rub it together. Remember how look at this down here, they're starting to sprout. Remember how our seeds love warmth? Whoops. Oh, look how bright it is now. Okay, tap the cloud and wish for rain. Do you think the rain's gonna come? Let's tap it. Clap to bring the sun again. Let's clap. Did you guys clap? Let's see if it brought the sun. There it is. Ah, the sun. Find the worm. Look for its tail. Can you see a worm there? There's our sprouts. Is that a worm? Oh no, that's that little ladybug again. I think that's the worm's tail. It's visiting our plants. Shoo away the hungry snail. No, no. Your dinner isn't here with our plants. Tell the little bud good night. Do you want to tell our plants good night? Good night. They're going to go sleep so they can rest and grow into big sprouts. Guess what you'll see in the morning light? What will you see? What do you think is going to happen to our little plants? Let's look at them. They're getting bigger at the top. What's that? Is that a bud? It might be. Wow. Now point to the purple flower. Look, it's already a flower. Eddie, look, there's a flower. Can you see it? Eddie, look, can you see it? He's really interested in what's happening outside. Probably some flowers growing out there. Buzz. Tap the cloud again. Look, we have little bees now. They're gathering the pollen. Okay, we are tapping the cloud again. I wonder why. Do you remember what happened before when we tapped the cloud? Another rain shower. Look, the rain brought another flower open. This one is, can you see what color? That one's red. So now we have purple, red, and the third one, an orange one. touch the blossoms gently, please. Gently touch our blossoms. Oh, they're so beautiful and smooth. What's over here? There's something coming. Is that a hummingbird? I wonder why the hummingbird's coming. Oh, look. It's visiting our flowers. Oh, look how beautiful. Now jiggle the plants to scatter the seeds. Jiggle it, Eddie. Are you guys jiggling it? Are we gonna scatter them? The purple flower needs a clip. Swipe across the stem. Snip, snip. Can you swipe across the purple stem? Close your eyes. Wave your hands in the air. Wave your hands. Everyone wave their hands. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Oh, look. There's magic everywhere. What is in this beautiful picture? What's this down here? Are those sprouts? That's what our seeds might look like soon. That's how they started. Can you believe they grew into those beautiful flowers? So strong and tall and colorful. And before it was our little seedlings all alone. I think we only had a ladybug with us. And now look at all the creatures who came to look at the beautiful flowers and to eat the pollen. And now it's a beautiful scene. And this tells you how to plant your seeds, which we already did today. Thank you guys for listening and reading and learning and planting with me. So if you have seeds at home, watch them grow. If not, you'll be able to tune in to our seeds and see how they're growing. So make sure you look for those videos. Work on your garden journals at home. Do some drawings of what we did today or the beautiful book. And I will see you next time. Bye. Wave bye, Eddie.